All right. Good evening to you all. This is an extraordinary room to see. I was actually the host of the very first of these events, and there we had a very small room, about a third of you, and what a growth this organization has seen in support. So that's wonderful. I'm so happy to be here because of how much this event and this organization inspires me. I'm so glad to be here because you have nothing to do with the federal election campaign. As much as I love politics, and we're all going to vote, right? You have nothing to do with the campaign, nothing to do with the impeachment, nothing to do with politics on any side of the border, so that's all good. My name is Carol Off, and thank you. And in my real life, I am the host of CBC's As It Happens program. Thank you. Which is on the air as we speak. I just want to give a word, first of all, to the music that you were hearing at the cocktail reception. I didn't get a chance to hear it, but I understand it was really quite extraordinary. It was Radwan Talib who was playing, and let's give a round of applause for his work. Before we begin, I must take a moment to acknowledge, of course, the sacred land on which we gather tonight. It is the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and the Petun First Nations, also the Seneca and the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and other nations who cared for this land and its history for thousands of years. And tonight, Toronto is still the home to many Indigenous people, we can't forget that, who come from across Turtle Island, as they call it, and now many of us now call it Turtle Island, and we're grateful to be in this community on this territory. I believe that you are here for the same reason I am, because of what this organization does and because you share my admiration for its founder, Dr. Izzeldin Abu Elesh, who is, around it. We'll hear more about him and from him in the course of the evening, but it's always important to acknowledge that extraordinary man. Finally, a very special welcome and thank you goes to Daughters for Life partners in attendance who have offered free scholarships to our students. This is very big and very important. Ryerson University, York University, Brock University, Brescia University College, and Wilfrid Laurier University. A big round of applause for these institutions. The Foundation's work is also supported by many generous gala sponsors, and each one plays an indispensable role in this organization. And on the screen, I think you're going to be able to see our generous sponsors, plus visuals of the programs that they support at Daughters for Life is very, very grateful for them. A few I'm going to draw attention to. The Gala Platinum sponsor, Dr. Michael and Amira Dan. Our Gala Gold sponsor, the University of Guelph. And thanks to our Gala Silver sponsors, the University of Toronto, York University, Mohawk College, Lee LLP, Mediation Solutions, Inc., Part-Time CFO Services, Rashid and Quinny Chartered Accountants, and this is one pronouncer I forgot to ask for, so I apologize to the Segicha family. If I mangled that horribly, I apologize. The Segicha family, thank you. I'm forever in your debt. And our gala supporters and attendants, Brock University, Ryerson University, Trent University, and the DMZ. I think this is great the way these institutions have helped. Heartfelt thanks to all of our in-kind sponsors, and that includes the event staff, the chefs, the AV staff, and the organizers of this place, the Carlu, who have been hosting this event since it was in a little tiny room over there 7 years ago. The ONB staff, I have to tell you, the ONB treats all of its people like they're part of the team. And so I want to acknowledge somebody who's very important to me, who's out in the kitchen cleaning up after us, and that's Asadullah Ariabal. And he came from Afghanistan 4 years ago, and he is one of my favorite people. So I'm just going to mention him as well. And finally, a huge thanks to all of you, because if you're not here, if you're not sharing this moment, if you're not helping with your money and your time and your kindness, then this doesn't happen. And I've seen this organization grow. It's extraordinary to start anything in this city, but to see the success of Daughters for Life is something that is really quite admirable. As I said earlier, we are celebrating the 7th annual Daughters for Life, and I can recall how moving it was on that first awards dinner to talk about that out of tragedy something very beautiful had emerged. First, the tragic part of the story, which begins in January 2009 in Gaza. And on one night, an Israeli tank shelled the home of Dr. Izzeldin Abu Elish. 3 of his daughters were killed: Bessan, Mayar, and Aya. Bessan was 21, Mayar was 15, Aya 13. We can all imagine how such an event would shatter your world, as it did for Dr. Abu Elish. But this man is exceptional, and he would not be defeated. I first met him not long after he moved to Toronto, and he published his remarkable book, I Shall Not Hate. This is a man who would not let anything enter his heart but love. And after I met him and talked to him, I learned about Daughters for Life. And his foundation honors not only his daughters, but all women and girls. And we are all inspired by your courage and generosity, Doctor. Thank you.